Hello there, beautiful. In this podcast episode, I'm going to dive into how to clear away the energy that is keeping you stuck in a negative feedback loop and the energy that is weighing you down, that is making you feel heavy, maybe a little anxious, overwhelmed, fear. So what I'm going to go over today is really explaining what I mean by the negative energy or energy itself. I'm also going to share and give 3 tips that will help you clear away the negative energy in your body and in your mind. Before we dive into today's episode, let's listen to this quick sponsorship ad. Are you looking to blossom your love from within and be your own best friend, quiet the voice of your inner critic, and really step into your self-love future vision? Well, I have just created a 10-week self-love program that was made for you called Blossom from Within. I have come so far in my self-love journey. I started out as my own worst enemy, my own bully, and I really didn't like being me. But now I can proudly say that I absolutely adore the person that I am. The love that was just waiting to bloom within me has now started to be a garden from within. And I just feel like a whole new different woman, a woman who accepts herself and shows her authenticity to the world. And if this is what you want, if you want to really embrace who you are completely and fully, I can definitely help you do that. And I can absolutely help you transform and grow that love from within. I will be that support system for you. I will guide you along the way. Just know that you are not alone. And so for this program, I have created a community around it. When you say yes, you will also gain access to a Facebook self-love community group where all of the women involved in the program will be there to support you too. You can choose to have one-on-one coaching sessions with me, or you don't have to invest in the coaching. You can just buy the program itself. But I can promise you that the investment in coaching with me will be worth it because you will see the transformation more quickly. And when I am there to support you and coach you, if this interests you, please go ahead and DM me the word self-love on my Instagram at blissfully.bloom. Before we dive into this episode, I wanted to shine a spotlight on a platform that has made my podcast dreams come true. And that is Anchor by Spotify. It's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Here are some of its features. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. So if you feel called to make a podcast, download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Again, that's the Anchor app or anchor.fm to get started. Hello, gorgeous. Welcome to Blissfully Bloom. I'm Tori, your host, and this podcast was created to inspire women to transform their mindset, blossom from within, and be unafraid to be their authentic selves. Get ready to grow, evolve, and bloom. As humans, we have a distinct energy field surrounding our body. You may have heard this energy field being termed your aura. Now, your aura is an electromagnetic field around every living body. And in human beings, it is a storehouse of all of the negative and the positive energies. Our energy body of auras has 7 layers, and these layers are each related to the 7 energy chakras located along the spine. And so for today's episode, I'm not going to get into much detail about the chakras, but that will definitely be for another day. But as just a brief introduction, you have 7 chakras. The one located at the base of your spine is the root chakra. And then when you move up towards your womb center, then you'll have your sacral chakra. Your solar plexus is just around the belly button. And then when you move up to your chest, around your heart center, you have your heart chakra. And then located at your throat is your throat chakra. Then moving up between your eyebrows is your third eye chakra. And then at the top of your head, you have your crown chakra. These chakras refers to energy points in your body. And when I talk about negative energy or dark energy, I'm specifically talking about when your energy centers may be out of balance, so these chakras are out of balance. So when you have this negative energy vibe going on, and this may be darker negative aura around your energy field, it actually affects your emotional and physical well-being, because your energy has a lot to do with your mind, body, and soul. It correlates to that. And if something is out of balance or something is misaligned, then you will feel that from an emotional standpoint and from a physical standpoint. Emotionally, you may feel tense, anxious, sad, lonely, depressed, anger, frustration, guilt, regret, shame. Now, from a physical standpoint, you may feel your heart racing, or you may feel a lot of heat building up in your body, or pain around your chest, or this tightness around your chest. The type of energy that you have in your field, it will affect your entire being. And you may not be able to physically see the energy, but you can definitely feel it. You can pinpoint exactly how you are feeling or the overall vibe of your being. I honestly don't like to term our energy positive or negative, because in actuality, all experiences are neutral. It's just the story that we give them. It's the labels that we stamp on to each one of our experiences. And some of those labels came directly from us, and some of the labels we learned from others. We learned from our schools, our parents, our friends. Let's just step into a little scenario here. Imagine you wake up and it's a fresh day, a fresh morning. You're feeling good. You're feeling ready for the day. And your overall mood, your overall vibe is pretty content right now. You're pretty happy, pretty mellow, and you're just ready to take on the day. You're excited. But then as you move on and you make your cup of coffee, you get dressed, and you realize, oh my gosh, my alarm didn't go off. And instead of it being 6 a.m. like you normally would be getting ready, it's 7 a.m. And now you realize you are late for work. So you have a thought, oh my gosh, I'm late for work. I'm such a failure. I don't know what's wrong with me. Why can't I get up? And that thought turns into a feeling. You start to feel anxious. You start to feel overwhelmed. You may start to feel a bit rushed, like you need to speed things up. Your adrenaline starts to get going. Your heart starts to race. And just from a millisecond, your energy went from a cool bean to a really hot chili pepper bean. You're finally ready. You're like, you know what? I'm still going to go in and show my face, because there's still time to make up for this. So And on the way to work, somebody cuts you off. And so a thought comes up in your head and you say, oh my gosh, why do people just want to ruin my day? And why does this always happen to me? So this makes you feel a bit irritated, on edge, aggravated. You finally made it to work. You're getting out of your car. And then your coworker comes up to you and says, wow, you're a bit late. This isn't normally like you. Are you okay? And then you may take that check-in from that coworker and give it a different label because their intentions may be different, but you may see it in your lens, in your point of view. You may label it as, oh, they're judging me. They think I'm a bad worker. They may think I'm not good enough for this job. There should be a different person for this job. And so you feel really closed off. And now people would probably feel the vibe coming off of you like you're a negative Nancy. Even just telling you the story now, I'm starting to get a little bit anxious. I feel a little bit of tightness in my chest just from me telling you that story. And it's crazy how even words have an energetic quality to them. And it depends on the type of narrative and the type of story that we give our experiences, because they will ultimately lead to what we think and believe and feel about that experience. They will affect your overall emotional and physical well-being. Your energy field can be influenced by those around you and by yourself. So depending on what you're thinking, depending on what you're believing, depending on what you're feeling, you can affect your energy. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that others determine your energy. Other people are not physically going into your body and making your energetic state a certain frequency, a certain vibration. What I mean by being affected by other people's energy, their energy can wash over into your own energy field. And if we don't do anything to protect our own energy field, we can potentially allow their energies, whatever they are feeling in that moment or thinking or believing, flood into our own, which can therefore influence our emotional state, our physical state. Let's step into two different scenarios. So you were invited to two different dinner parties, one on a Friday night and one on Saturday night. So it's Friday night, you get ready, you're going to this dinner party, and you are there, you show up, you open the door, and the dinner host walks up to you with open arms and greets you and gives you a big ol' hug and welcomes you in with open arms. And everybody else is drawn to you. And you just feel like the energy in the room is very calm, centered, grounded, and people want to connect. Their hearts are open. They're sharing stories with you. They have listening ears. There's not much complaining or gossiping going around. There's just sharing their knowledge, sharing their wisdom, and you feel very safe in this space. It's a judgment-free zone. Now, you can pick up on other people's energies. If the majority of the people in the room are feeling happy, vibrant, alive, free, grounded, centered, you're also going to take up their energy. And it's going to affect you in a really, really good way. You're going to feel good too. That energy is going to rub off on you, and you're going to feel even more happy, vibrant, ready to connect, ready to open your heart to other people. Let's step into a different scenario and go to the dinner party on the Saturday night. This is with a completely different group of people. You knock, nobody opens the door, and you knock again. Finally, it wasn't the dinner host, but somebody opens the door, and everybody is kind of a little bit standoffish. You feel like their hearts are closed. There's not a lot of talking going on, but the only talking that is going on is very judgy. There's complaining. They're talking about the people that they don't like. They're judging them. They're criticizing, and they're being very harsh. This makes you feel a bit anxious and standoffish. And this will affect your aura. Maybe walking in there, you might have been excited, you might have been ready to connect, ready to open up and share your heart. But then once you felt the energy of others, if you didn't protect your own energy, their energy field will affect your own. Imagine their energy as a little ball of anxiety around them, and it's going to come and flow over to your aura. The one that is complaining, they may feel frustrated or agitated. Their agitation energy is going to float all the way onto your aura around your body, and you may feel agitated. You may feel irritated, even though you didn't think or feel that. And so you can see the difference between that. There's an overall vibe of energy going on, and they're both on opposite ends of the spectrum. That is what I was trying to get at when I meant by energy. You can feel it in the room. You can almost feel everyone else's mood as soon as you walk in, and even individual moods. As you talk, as you just notice their body language or their overall presence and what they give off. And some may be more sensitive to it than others, but I am very, very sensitive to other people's energies. And as soon as I walk into a room, I can almost immediately feel what they feel, sense the vibe, sense the feelings in the room. Before I even knew about protecting my energy field was, it felt like it was just almost draining, taking on all those different energies all the time. Let's move on to the 3 ways that you can clear away the unwanted energy that isn't serving you. Maybe you come home from your day and you feel heaviness. You feel a sense of overall discontent, and you want to get rid of it. You want to shake off this energy. And you don't want it to just linger, because if you do allow it to linger, what's going to end up happening is it's going to be very, very difficult to let the energy go if it's been lingering around you. And this is how it can end up in your personality traits if you don't do anything about it. If you allow it to just be, then it can become a part of your personality, of how you act and who you are as a person. And if you don't want this, then I highly suggest clearing away the energy, because think of it as if you're taking a bath. Clearing our energy is just as important as clearing away the dirt and the grime off of our bodies after a long day's work. You can do this daily. You can clear away your energy daily or weekly or monthly. It's really up to you, but just know that your energy is going to be affected daily if you don't protect it. But if it becomes too much for you and it's a little bit hard to maintain, then I would just start with doing weekly energy cleanses and, building up from there. So the first way that you can clear away this energy is through shaking. How to do this is to stand up with your knees in a bent shape. So don't lock your knees for this. And you're just going to allow your body to be very, very loose, shaking your hands, allowing your arms to shake, and kind of bouncing up and down while you're standing to allow your legs to move. And you're not necessarily moving around, you are just shaking in one place. And what this does is it moves your energy field. It allows what energy may be stuck or blocked to move in and out through you. And your unwanted energy, the one that may be a little bit negative or darker, it likes to be stuck. And it doesn't like to be changed or moved. And so when you allow your body to be moved and you allow yourself to be in your body, then it's almost as if you're surrendering to it all. You're allowing yourself to surrender and trust that the energy is going to move out of you. And you will feel a difference in your overall sense of, in your overall state of being. And before the shaking, you may feel anxious, you may feel tense or overwhelmed or stressed or angry or irritated, whatever you may be feeling. But if you give this a try, if you just shake your body, and I suggest shaking to some music or, really make this a little ritual out of it. You can light some candles, some sage as you're listening to the music and smelling all of the beautiful smells around your environment. You can begin to make some noises to release that which is no longer serving you. Because as you make this noise, it'll help move the energy that may be stuck, that may be blocked. So an example of a noise that you can make is or he, or or just a lot of sighs, whatever noise that you feel like needs to be released. There's no right or wrong answer here. Just go with your intuition, go with what you feel like needs to be voiced out. And you'll feel a lot of release after this, and it's such a beautiful feeling. Beforehand, you may have felt the anxiety, you may have felt depressed or angry. After this practice, and I suggest maybe doing it for about 5 to 10 minutes, or maybe even longer if you feel like it's needed. After it's complete and you have done this shaking, this body shaking, you will feel a tremendous difference in your overall state of being. Your aura will be shifted to a more lighter, freer, loving state than it was before. You may feel more at ease, more calm, more centered, grounded, more love and light entering your being. I really suggest giving that a try, and if you do, please share your experience in the comments. I would love to know how that went for you. The second way to clear away this unwanted energy is to avoid complaining. Go a day where you go free of complaining. And here is what happened when I tried this one day. I realized, and I had to catch myself a lot of times, realizing when I went down that train, because our unwanted energies, the darker ones that we really don't want to be there and linger around us, it loves the downward spiral. It loves you being in a state of irritation and frustration and anger and anxiety and fear. It loves that. And when you complain, you are essentially bringing yourself down that spiral. Complaining doesn't solve anything. It's not like you're trying to figure out a solution, trying to figure out how to overcome the situation. All complaining does is put you in a downward state, a downward spiral, and it's really contagious. I have been around many people who just loved to complain. And I noticed that whenever I hung out with them more, I would start to find myself complaining even more. The 5 people that you surround yourself with are who you ultimately become. So if you're hanging out with 5 people who tend to complain, tend to give stories of irritation and frustration and how they just despise being in this world, and this world is a messed up place and there's no good in it, and they're just always in this victim mentality, then you're ultimately going to be hearing those messages, taking them in and soaking them in, and then reproducing them out. maybe giving your own complaining story. Maybe not exactly what they're complaining about, but you're going to be complaining about what you feel needs to be complained about. And so when you give a little detox day of no complaining, you change your mindset. You don't tend to pity yourself or feel bad for yourself. You tend to be in this different state of mind to where you're more appreciative. You're more thankful, grateful, and just overall excited about life. You feel like life is working for you, not against you. I mean, think of it as a little challenge for yourself, but once you do start this challenge, it will almost feel like you're becoming more aware of the messages that you were sending out and the messages that you were receiving. You will realize when you start to complain, and you may catch yourself and, give yourself grace if that happens, but reshift the story. You don't have to stay in the story of complaining, because it's only going to be a cycle. You're going to find more things to complain about, more things to be upset about. Everything that's wrong, you're going to find everything that's wrong and continue to find the things that are just not working out in your favor. But if you rewrite your narrative, rewrite it to one that is loving, you see the magic, you see the good, you see the love and light in this world, then that will affect your aura. Your aura is going to be more light. Your aura will be filled with more light, more love. And that is contagious, and that will inspire more people to complain less and love more. The third and final way to clear away the unwanted energy that isn't serving you anymore is visualization. Visualization is so incredibly powerful, and you have this tool available to you at any given time, except while you're driving. That probably wouldn't be the best and safest spot to really visualize, if you want to close your eyes, of course. Now, when you visualize, you're going to close your eyes, really allow yourself to be creative here, to imagine and see the energy around your field. And first, become aware of it, notice it without judgment, without wanting to change anything. And then imagine yourself breathing in light and then exhaling. And as you exhale, you almost see a color that is a dark color coming out of your mouth, and that is the energy coming out. That is all of the dark energy. And as you continue to breathe in this way, you will feel more lighter, feel your energy shifting. And this is just one way to do this. There's many different visualization exercises of clearing away your energy, but that is just one way, visualizing light entering your body so that it's taking up all the space. There's more light filling your body and filling your cells. And then visualizing the unwanted energy being released out of your breath and into your space. Now, I think it would be beneficial to clear the energy from your space afterwards, that you can do it with sage or any other energy clearing tools, but I would suggest to open a window so that all the energy has a way to be out, to have a way to leave your environment so that it doesn't linger and then be attached to your body and your energy field again. Another little visualization technique is to imagine yourself, and you can do this literally or in your head, imagining it. Imagining you stepping into a salt bath, and there's just crystals around this bath. There's candles. It's your own little spa center, a gem for yourself. And as you step into it, you're going to slowly submerge yourself in this water. And you can visualize the energy being pulled from your body and into this water. So now instead of being attached to your energy field, it is now going to be in this water. And really imagine that. Imagine it happening. And then when you're done, when you feel like the process is complete, then you drain the water and all of the energy, the bad juju energy that you didn't want, is going to be washed away and drained away as you drain the water. There's many other different creative ways that you can go about this, but you can even create your own way to imagine yourself clearing away the energy. And sometimes there's certain points of our body where you feel like there's maybe more irritation collecting in, and it may come through as pain. Such as earlier, whenever I mentioned that I had some tightness in my chest and some pain around my heart center, you can even imagine yourself tugging and physically doing it, physically bringing your hand to your heart center and tugging away, visualizing that energy being tugged away from your heart, or away from your back, or away from your throat chakra, whatever you feel like the energy is being stuck and needs to be moved, needs to be cleared away. Now, I do want to give a little bonus tip about how to protect your energy, because I actually read something while I was doing some research on this topic, and it was about this girl who went to the hospital for her niece. Her niece had requested her to get some snacks from the vending machine and get some drinks for her to really hydrate. And so when she went down to the waiting room where this vending machine was. And at the time, she didn't really eat anything that day, and she felt really weak. But as soon as she entered that room, and there were some other people that were waiting there, she literally collapsed onto the chair. She felt that heaviness in the room. She felt that anxiety, that irritation, the fear that was collected in that room. And ever since that day, she said that she goes out of her way to make sure that she is protecting her energy. And I was just mind blown from that story, because now in her situation, she didn't eat anything that day. So that's why it was quite dramatic, and it doesn't feel like it would be that dramatic every single time. But sometimes the energy is so overwhelming and so powerful and strong and intense that it sometimes almost makes us feel like we want to just drop. That is why it is so important to protect our own energy, so that we're able to give off more love and light. And so the overall energy in the room isn't made up of all of this anxiety, fear, overwhelm, anxiousness, or agitation. Because remember what I said is the unwanted energy, the energy that you don't want and doesn't serve you, all of those things feed off of each other. And if we're not protecting our energy, and if we're just allowing all of the darker emotions and feelings to run over through us, then that's ultimately what the world is going to be made up of, because it feeds off of each other. So if we allow ourselves to protect our energy, so that it doesn't matter what anybody else is feeling or thinking or believing, because we hold strong foundations of our beliefs, our thoughts, and we protect our mind, body, and soul, so that it gives off on other people. Love conquers all. So the people in that hospital room, if she would have protected her energy and walked in, they might have felt a little bit more hope, more love, more light. A way to protect your energy. It's a little bit of a visualization. Now what you can do is close your eyes, get centered, and allow yourself to drop into the moment and invite an intention. Call in an intention for this energy protection. Maybe it's, I release all unwanted energy and call in energy that serves me, energy of all light and love and bliss. And then after that, what you're going to do is imagine a beautiful golden light shimmering from the sky and making its way to your space. And once it's there, it forms a protective shield, a protective bubble around yourself. And you can kind of feel it and feel that it is secure. The bubble is not going anywhere. And your energy field is now protected. No matter what goes on in the external world and your external environment, it really isn't going to have an effect on your own energy. Because now you have this shield protecting you. As you move throughout your day, as you meet new people, as you experience the world and take on this new day, you are going to be protected. You're going to be guarded by this bubble. And trust that your guardians and angels and the divine is there for you, is there with you, and wants to see your aura filled with love and light. If you try out any of these exercises that I give, please leave a comment in the description. I would love to know your experience. But that concludes the episode for today. I'm super excited because there are going to be more guests on the show, so stay tuned for that. But I appreciate y'all's support, and I will see y'all in the next episode. Bye! Thank y'all so much for listening. I am just so blessed and grateful for y'all's support. And if you haven't gotten the chance, please subscribe to this podcast and share it with your friends and family. Also, check out my YouTube channel, Blissfully Bloom. It's all about self-growth, self-love, and self-healing. I will see y'all in the next episode. Bye!